Welcome to the magnificent Moama Bowling Club on the border of Victoria and New South Wales for Bowls Victoria's coverage of 2018 Saturday Champion of State Pennant. 3 days of Pennant bowls, 12 champion clubs from right around the state doing battle to see who is number one. This morning we'll be featuring the match between Shepparton Golf, champions of the Goulburn Valley Bowls Division, and Traralgon from the Strzelecki region. We're already one round down. There's 2 sections of 6 here. And the champions of each section, after everyone plays each other once, will go through to the grand final on Sunday. This is round 2. We had the first round of matches yesterday afternoon. And here we've got teams that, in Traralgon's case, they won their opening match. Shepparton Golf lost their opening match yesterday, and they do battle. And this is a very big match in the context of this group. I'll explain why a little bit later. My name's Guy Hand. I'll be taking you through coverage for the next couple of days, and we hope you enjoy it wherever you're watching from. It's a pleasure to welcome into co-commentary a man who's played more than 200 games for Victoria. He's a former national singles champion. He's the Chief Executive of Bowls Victoria. Graeme Bridge, good to have you with us, Bridgie.
Thanks, Guy, and thanks for the brisk welcome to Moama this morning. These aluminium seats are a bit a bit cool. You could probably put a couple of tinnies on them to cool them down. But no, look, I think we're in for another exciting game today on our TV rink. Yesterday's game, obviously, with Teralgan just getting over the line against a very determined Karingal who wouldn't give up, and actually were in a position to hold the game, and Teralgan got out of jail. But that's bowls, that's history now. We've got another game here, round 2 of the sectional play. And as you said, with Traralgon winning their first game yesterday, it gives them a chance to cement their place in the calculations for tomorrow afternoon's final. Shep Golf, they'd be disappointed with their first up round yesterday afternoon. They'd be looking to make amends for that today. And if they don't get the chocolates in this game, they could virtually have no real hope of making the final tomorrow. So
it's very true. Just to set the picture for you, two sections of 6, and the winner of each section advances to the grand final. So you finish second, close but no cigar. So you need to win your section to get out of it. And Section A is a tough section for the simple reason that you have a couple of very, very good regional teams, but also you have the Metropolitan winners in Altona and the most successful club in Saturday Champion of State Pennant history in that particular group. And it was Altona who saw off Shepparton Golf in round 1 yesterday. They had a 53-34 win. Traralgon, they won and zip. They had a 44-35 win over Buninyong to open the batting in their battle to finish top of Section A. And that sets the scene for what we've got here. For those of you not familiar with Pennant bowls, this is what we play in Victoria week in, week out. This is your home and away competition, and it's 3 rinks of 4, and it's the aggregate score of the 3 rinks which is the important thing, and that determines whether or not your team wins. Now, just looking at the scoreboard that you will see in your left, just to explain it to you, our featured rink, which will be rink 8, which will be the middle rink of the 3, will be in yellow. So that will be the match that we focus on for the vast majority of the game. The white score will be the aggregate score. And it's the white score that's the important one, because that will determine who wins the game and who gets ladder position. So just to take you through it, so we will be focusing on the middle rink of the 3 here. And that is Shepparton Golf's very experienced David Dawes, a man who traditionally goes very, very deep in key events like the Vic Open and things like that. He's a very experienced skip, taking on Jim Scullen of Traralgon. And we'll also be keeping you abreast of what's happening on the opposite 2 rinks in those 2. Shepparton Golf, Brad Orr, former state player, will be taking on Matt Ferrari of Traralgon, and that'll be on rink 7. And on rink 9, just opposite, Graeme Myers of Shepparton Golf, taking on Ian Kirkup of Traralgon. But the match that we'll be focusing on here will be the match between David Dawes and Jim Scullen of Traralgon. David Dawes, a most experienced name in the game, Bridgie.
Yeah.
Regularly goes very deep in tournaments. He's regular in the last 16 last start of the Vic Open.
Yep. And he's a big man, Dave, and he gets his bowl away beautifully. He's a very smooth delivery. Unflappable, doesn't really show a lot when he's playing. Fierce competitor, as they all are, playing at this level. But the secret with this one, guy, is you've got to get a good start. 15 ends, it's a time-limited match, 2.5 hours. So you must have commenced your 15th end inside that 2.5 hour time limit to play the maximum amount of ends. So the whole match is determined over 45 ends across the 3 rinks. And as you said, those white boxes are the ones to watch because that's the aggregate score and that's what counts. It doesn't matter what happens on the individual rinks. It's all about what the overall team score is. So that intensity has got to start from N1 and carry through for that 15 ends, and you've got to get a good start. It's very, very difficult to chase down in a shorter length version of Pennant, because usually Pennant will be played over 25 or 21 ends, where you've got a little bit more time. Time's of the essence here. You've got to start quick, and if you are in trouble, you've got to try and retrieve quickly. But if you're in front, consolidate and go harder, because it's harder for the others to catch you.
So they'll play a lot of bowls today too, because there's three round matches on today. So as Bridgie mentioned, 15 ends. Each rink will play 15 ends. It's the cumulative score after 45 ends is what counts. And so for most of these teams, I mean, it's close enough 2 games of Pennant that they'll be playing in the one day here. So Saturday's, Saturday's a big day. It's going to be a busy day for all of these teams, and that's what's going to, I guess, determine. We'll know probably by late in the day how everyone's going within their sections, and get some idea of who's in the race to get into the final.
And the other key point too is that everybody is circulating through the different greens. There's 1.5 artificial greens at Moama, both carpeted, and then the 2 TIF12 greens. So there's a chance for everybody. No one plays all their games on one green, so they've got to be flexible to go around the whole lot of the paddocks here, and that's in itself a challenge in some instances. If you come off this artificial carpet here, which is running very, very sweetly this morning, probably running about 15 and a half seconds, and then go onto the grass, which is slightly holding. It's only new greens, the grass, so starting in the morning on a quicker green and then facing up on going back down the scale to a slower green. Some of the players may find that difficult, so you've definitely got to have the ability to adjust to all the different paces and the surfaces.
Okay, so we're underway here.
This is a great start here.
This is a very good start. So Dennis McCarry for Shep Golf puts it right on. We'll just run through the teams here for Shep Golf. Dennis McCarry, lead Neville Manson, John Gribble, Dave Dawes, skipper. And for Traralgon, Shane Chapman. His lead, Chris Ward, Michael Yacoub, and Jim Scullen is the skip on the rink that we will be featuring. We'll be bringing you up to date with what's happening in the other rinks, Brad Orvey, Matt Ferrari, Graham Myers, v. Ian Kirkup. And what we'll be doing is every 10 ends or so, we've got obviously 5 other sectional matches going on outside on the 2 outside greens over there and in the synthetic behind us. So we'll be bringing you up to date probably every 10 ends or so with the outside matches as well. So we'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on as much as we can here.
Both of these leads have nailed the line. They've both found the width of the green straight up. Shane Chapman's first bowl. Very good. He's second, even better. That's a lovely bowl. Well done.
It's a beauty, isn't it? Did notice this morning before the players got on there was a little mini match between one Graham Bridge and our other co-commentator who'll be joining us this afternoon, Zane McInlorry, putting a couple down on this very green here, just getting it ready for the players.
Yeah, oh, well, I probably left a line on the green they can follow because it wasn't hard to find. It's beautiful to play on. It's absolutely magnificent surface.
It's a magnificent complex all round, isn't it, this?
What have you noticed so far, Guy, about the 2 leads?
Both lefties.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Both lefties. Never seen a bad left-hander.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
you haven't seen me play yet.
I haven't seen you play, but
because that is a bad lefty. I'm a lefty myself.
I just noticed the difference in the draw on the bowls from Dennis McCarry's bowls to Shane Chapman's bowls, and Dennis's, taking a little tighter line to Shane. Shane's bowls I thought were finishing wide, but they actually did a lot of turn at the end. So just the different biases, different brands, different models.
It's a very brisk morning here, as Bridgie alluded to. We're sitting on aluminium seats. I'm glad you can feel something, because I can't. It's pretty cool this morning, but as is the case pretty much anywhere on the Murray at this time of year, probably within about 15 minutes to half an hour, it'll be warmed up and it'll be a lovely day reaching towards the early 20s. But it certainly has been a brisk start this morning, and this match does start in very cool conditions. You'll notice most of the players have got a long sleeve jacket on at the moment, and rightly so.
Michael Yacoub has just turned Shane Chapman's first bowl a little closer to the jack, which makes it a little bit tighter now to get in. John Gribble picking the line, but just not having the right weight with his bowl. That's virtually blocked the backhand up now, so might be looking to change over or play a little bit more aggressive down on that backhand through that tiny gap. But John Gribble switched over, gone to the forehand. Looks just a little bit tight there. Probably just lacking a little in pace as well, but the Shep Golf boys have actually built a little bit of a picket fence here. Be very difficult for Dave Dawes to get in there now. He'll have to open it up with one and then try and draw it with another. Michael Yacoub's coming in high here. Beautiful weight.
Oh, that's a really nice bowl.
That's a great shot. That is an absolute great shot. So it was there. Anybody might have thought that grey bowl might have been in the draw. It's out far enough to get around. It's about 75 centimetres out, 2'6" out, and it's there if you've got the right weight. But I think David might open up here, Guy. I think the big man might be going to unleash the beast here.
Yeah,
I think
he's going to have to, isn't he? Put a bit of weight down and try and break things up a bit.
He's playing delicate weight. The difficult weight, because if you get too wide, it won't come back, as has been the case with this one. Really difficult shot he chose to play there. Jim Scullin here, he has 2 feet to draw another shot. If he follows Michael Yacoub's last bowl, he's every chance of playing a counter. He's looking okay to there. That is a magnificent bowl. That is a magnificent bowl.
Beauty. Again. So finesse the first time from Dawes. Will it be force the second?
Well, Johnny Gribble's indicated too that he's 4 down. He's really left it a bowl too late to go and attack, so he's got to try and play this very, very difficult shot in this gap here. If he finds this, he deserves to get the shot. Playing to turn over. He has played a magnificent shot. Wow, that's his delicate weight finesse. Half a bowl one side or the other. It doesn't get anything, but he's got it plumb in the middle and turned it up for shot.
It's a fantastic play from David Dawes. Should point out too that we will be doing, thanks to our friends at Anytime Fitness and My Sport Live, our broadcast partner, we'll be doing a play of the day today. So what we...
Dale Hancock's push-up shot yesterday afternoon was play of yesterday.
That was
we didn't capture that one.
That was pretty impressive. So what we see as the best player of the day in our play on Saturday. They'll be getting a prize pack from our good friends at Anytime Fitness and My Sport Live. And that shot from Dave Dawes will be right in the mix, I think.
Jim Scullen here. Not getting... Oh, just touched the outside, but one down. One to Shep Golf.
So turned a pretty ordinary situation there into a good one. So Shep Golf, David Dawes on the board.
He's earned his money on the first end, so he can have the rest of the morning off, because that was a ripper, because he was in all sorts of strife there, and he persevered with what I believe would have been the hardest shot to play, and he got it. So well done, credit to him. Backed his skill, backed his judgment.
You'll notice there too, you probably noticed in amongst the maelstrom of action that was going on the rink that we're featuring on, is that a lot of the players from the neighbouring rinks were looking over and having a look. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with Pennant Bowls in Victoria, there is, obviously it is the team score, it's the aggregate score that matters. So you're going to see a lot of the neighbouring two rinks just keeping an eye on what goes on adjoining rinks, because the overall picture is the picture that matters here. You'll see that you saw Brad Orr to the right of your screen. Brad's one of the Shep Golf skips, and his guys just keeping abreast of what was happening on David Dawes' rink, and you'll notice that pretty much throughout our coverage today. On the show rink here, all three rinks are right next to each other. They're only the one match is being played on this green. So it's all in close quarters, and they get a very, very good look at what each other are doing on the show rink.
Dennis McCarry, very experienced player from Shep Golf. And this is what the name of bowls is all about. It's the art of correction. And there's a fantastic bowl from Dennis.
Dennis is another player who we obviously play the Stella Vic Open up in Shepparton every year, and you notice the locals who do get deep in this competition, and two of the guys who are very, very prominent every single year, Dennis McCarry and David Dawes. Perennial finishes in the round of 16 quarterfinals.
Much better bowl with his second there, Shane Chapman. The first one there, a good metre and a bit short. He gets that next one right behind in the scoring area, a little over 2 feet behind. Nev Manton, he won't be far away. Great shot. He's drawn the absolute.
So everyone seems to have found their line and length pretty early here.
It's if you can read it, see it, play it, you'll be laughing. If you're struggling to find it, you will struggle all game. There's definitely a nice consistent line there. It's probably about the width of a shoebox. If you're inside the line, you'll cut. If you're outside the line, you'll hang. But if you find that width, the line's the easy part, Guy. The weight's the hard part. You can't teach the weight. Everybody has a different idea of how they control their weight, but the line is just virtually the direction you want your bowl to travel in. Nev Manton with his number 2 bowl. Absolutely putting the pressure on here, Shep Golf. They're inspired, the players, after Dawsey delivered that ripper on the last end. So I think he might have made a little bit of an appeal to him on the changeover. Hey, fellas, this is the first end. Wake up, wake up.
And they've responded so far.
Yeah. Great shot from Chris Ward. He's trailed it for 1. Brilliant bowl.
Absolutely all over it at the moment on this rink.
This is what we want to see, Guy. This is what, you know, real good fours players all about. Each player doing their bit. The leads. Dennis McCarry playing 2 very good bowls. Nev Manton then getting all over it as the second.
Oh, look at it. Ooh.
Yep, very, very unlucky there, Johnny Gribble.
I thought he was through there for a moment.
You know, there's 7 bowls there within 2 feet of the jack, so that's what it's all about.
It's a very pretty head, that.
Michael Yakub. Rugged up with the tracksuit top on, the hoodie. Get it off, Michael. Get your weight.
I'd say Michael will have that that top off within 15 minutes. I thought, because it's starting to warm up. You can see the sun shining on the outside greens.
Yeah.
That we can see, and the sun creeping through on the left of your picture. Another perfect day coming up in Moama.
This is where the tactical side of the game comes to play. You know, you've got the Shep Golf boys there have got 5 bowls there within 2 feet of the jack, and only the one Teralgan bowl there which is in there. So Michael Yacoub needs another one in there to give that one a soldier, give it a friend, and he's done that beautifully.
Oh, well played.
So they're holding 2.
So just on the other rinks, the Traralgon boys, Matt Ferrari and Ian Kirkup have got off to decent starts there. So the overall score, Traralgon up 3-1. 1 end played in each of the rinks, and here it's David Dawes of Shepparton Golf, 1 up over Jim Scullen of Traralgon. The white boxes that you see on your scoreboard there, that is the aggregate score, and that is the 1.
Great shot, David. That is brilliant. Two on a look. Could possibly be 3.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot closer than Jim Scullen realises for an extra couple of shots here, but he's only got to do what Michael Yacoub did, come in and land on that backhand, sit on a bowl, beat the bowl, and you'll have the shot.
Notice Michael Yacoub there, 2 down and a measure.
Yeah.
That's what he indicated there.
He's coming in nice and high here, but he's just a little heavy. Okay. Made the shot bowl what they call shotter, closer to the jack, but that's a pretty good head guy. It's one now that really comes down to the skipper's ability to be able to draw to save, or a little trail on the jack. I believe that there's a shot there for Big Dave Dawes on his forehand. If he can sit on the speckled white bowl of Teralgan, which I think is their closest bowl, he could possibly turn this into 5. So he'd be looking for this in the early stages of the game to really apply some heat. He's gone for that shot. Let's follow it in travel. Ooh, a little tight. Now view blocked out a little bit there by Nev Manton to try and track that bowl coming in, but he was a little bit underweighted more than anything with that. I think this is tight. Ooh. Johnny Gribble won't give anything away. He'll be asking for the measure. It's close for 3. Yep, 3 shots.
So there we go, 3 to golf. Courtesy again of some magic from the skip.
Don't shake his hand, you'll get blisters. He's hot.
He's hot indeed.
He's boiling.
And so it's a 3 to Shep Golf there. David Dawes up 4-zip over Jim Scullen. And overall, 4-3. So the overall score, 4-3 to Shep Golf. We'll bring you up to date with what's happening on the other rinks as well. So Bridgie, just to set the picture here from our round 1 matches, yesterday. We saw an absolute belter here in one of the other Section A matches. Kerrang up by 3 shots over Kringle overall. That came right down to virtually the last bowl. Kerrang won 38-35 in their opening Section A match. Shep Golf went down 53-34 to the Metropolitan winners and probably the favourites for this tournament in Altona. And Traralgon had a great shot there. Absolute beauty. And Traralgon, 9-shot winners over Buninyong to open their batting in Section A. So for Traralgon, or anyone really wanting to keep pace with Altona, they really need to win this here and go 2-zip because they play Altona in the next round.
Yeah. If they position themselves here with a win, they're a chance then, because anything can happen.
I think what neither of these clubs would want to do is clear the way for Altona to basically take a stranglehold on this section.
That's a smart bowl from Shane Chapman. His first one right on the front of the jack and his second one behind a metre. Perfect lead bowls. He's got the shot and he's also got position if the shot bowl's touched. So he's done his job and that's all you have to do. Quite often a lot of people say to me, what do you think the lead should do? Get a front toucher and a back toucher every end? And I said, well, if they did that, they wouldn't be playing here. They'd be playing somewhere internationally because that's the standard that no one can maintain and keep. Lead's just got to get the head built up. You know, get bowls in the head for the skipper to work with and the other players to work with. But there, Shane Chapman's done the whole lot. He's got the shot and he's got the posse. Nev Manton just a little bit short with his first there. There's going to be no benefit for dropping short here because the jack will not be going forward. It'll only be going backwards down the line, and there's 2 good bowls in position there for Teralgan now. Nev Manton's only got to look for about 2 feet of weight would be perfect. He can draw the shot. There's enough of the jack exposed on the outside there to get a tickle on it. He's given this every chance. That's a great bowl. Finish in a perfect spot. Now that the Shep boys don't have to play aggressive, they've only got to just touch the shot bowl, and that yellow and blue bowl of Shep Golf could become shot. What Chris Ward's got to be careful of here is not popping the jack out for Shep. He's played a good bowl there. He's got an underneath shot.
Geez, some good bowls being played here in the first couple of ends.
Yeah.
From all players.
John Gribble ran onto the mat then to have a go at this. He's very keen to try and draw this shot. Set up the head for his skip. He's just a little tight. He's got beautiful weight. Just the width. No need to go near the object lesson here for anybody playing pennant bowls, no matter what grade of bowls you play. Got one on the front of the jack, you don't go having to try and draw another one alongside it. Just look around to beat bowls, cut your opposition's chances to score. And that's a great shot from Michael Yacoub. He's paired that outside bowl perfectly, right where his skipper wanted it.
So just noticing on the adjoining rink here, Brad Orrs picked up a decent number and in his match against Matt Ferrari. So the overall score, Shep Golf up 8-3. He's picked up a 3.
Johnny Gribble strangled that one. He's gone under the head at Jack High by a good metre there, so his line was nowhere near in the area to do the damage. The weight was good for what his skipper called for. It leaves Michael Yacoub now a chance to do it again. Not 100 miles away. Just a bowl short of Jack High. Very good though. Could be a measure. Well, can he do it 3 ends in a row? David Dawes, he played an absolute bomb on end 1 to turn 4 down into 1 up. Second end, sat through 2 bowls to make the better part of 3. Finds himself a few down here, but playing what I would class as surgical weight here because he has to be very, very careful about the weight that he plays. He's under the head as well. moved that one out, so it's definitely only 2 now to Traralgon. Jim Scullen guy, I wonder if they call him the Prime Minister. Famous name, James Scullen.
It is a very famous name of our former Prime Ministers, Labor man.
He's in the armchair here really because he's got a front toucher or a front bowl covering the jack. He's got a second shot just underneath. He may only have one now, turning that bowl over. Might have made that second. Let's see what magic can be woven here by David Dawes. I think he's tied again.
Yeah, well, he's human.
Yes, he's not going to be happy with that. He had no real advantage being narrow there. The shot coming in high, he had his own bowls to turn through, come off, sit through another bowl. Could be a chance here if Jim Scullen can get onto that last bowl that he just flicked in. He holds a good one. I think the best thing he can do here is just try and draw another shot. Can't see there being a lot of percentage. He's only doing this for one extra, so I would think that the best thing he could do here is just draw another shot with safety. Could be 2, you don't know. I always get worried when the second comes up and starts trying to tell the skip what to do as well. I think it's a good thing James went down and had a look because he's got to play the shot. He's got to make his mind up what he wants to do. He doesn't want to be going up to the match with 2 or 3 different shots in his head. So
there's a errant bowl from the Ferrari rink, found its way over just before Scullen was about to bowl.
Bit of incoming damage. Okay, he's got this out on a good line. He's got it on a very good line. It's just going to be a little bit underneath. That's, look, a very good shot. Definitely only the one shot now, I think.
Yep, and that's the one. So Jim Scullen on the board. He trails 4-1. It's 8-4 overall to Shep Golf. Brad Orr up 4-1 over Matt Ferrari. And Ian Kirkup from Traralgon up 2-0 over Graeme Myers of Shep Golf on the other rink. So it's 8-4 overall. 4-1 to Dawes here. This is Section A action. Section B, there's also a Section B, 6 teams playing in that. And round 1 yesterday, a couple of very interesting matches there. Benalla, led by Matthew Robertson, got off to a flying start, 52-33 winners over Eagle Hawks, so they're setting the pace there. Lakes Entrance from Gippsland, 51-25 winners over Horsham City. And in an absolute nail-biter, Queen's Cliff up by a single shot over Warrnambool, 33-32 in their round 1 matches. And a reminder that we'll be, every 10 ends or so, we'll be bringing you up to date with what's going on around the grounds in our other sectional matches. We'll be getting some scores in from the outside greens. Big complex here at Moama. We've got 2 outside greens on the grass and another synthetic behind us. We'll endeavour to collate the scores every 10 ends or so and give you a picture of what's happening in not only Section A, but in Section B as well.
2 well-weighted bowls from Shane Chapman there for Teralgan. Ooh, his first one fell back against the bias, then a little closer to the jack, so always handy when they fall back towards the jack. A little bit of work for Dennis McCarry here. He went through a good metre and a bit there with his first. made the correction, played a beautiful bowl. That's a great shot, Dennis. Oh, took a little wander, little redirection there. These greens at Moama have only been in play since December in 2017, so they've been in full play for a period of about 4 months, 4 and a bit months. Complex now has 26 rinks with 12 artificial and 14 natural grass. And what about the view from the club, straight down the underneath of the canopy and down to the grass greens? It's a it's a gun barrel view.
Yeah. It's an absolutely sensational complex. I'll tell you something, if it's not the best bowls complex in Australia, it's a podium finisher. It's pretty good.
It's right up there with the best. And in particular, I think what complements the venue here, not so much as just the undercover green facility, it's all the other amenities that go with it as well, like the barbecue areas, the clubhouse, the greenkeeper shed, which is enormous. And there's a lot of work to be undertaken here. Like you're looking at, I think the nature strip here to mow is around about 150 metres. So it'd be a decent job trying to look after all the surrounds as well. But it's manicured, it's picture perfect. Great credit to the people here and the visionary people at Moama that have created this facility as what it is now.
It's a multi-million-dollar facility, make no mistake about that. And I think certainly Champion Estate Pennant, it's a real privilege for Bowls Victoria to be hosting it here, and we're thrilled to do so. But I think Moama have got their eyes on international and national events as well, and I think with a complex of this quality, I don't think that's going to be an issue for them.
And they have got a strong history in that area, Guy, of running international events. They held Women's World Bowls here in 2000, held the World Champion of Champions here for a couple of years, the Asia Pacific Championships as a lead-in to the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne in 2006, ran a very, very successful competition for a number of years called the Super League. Part of the Grand Prix series of events with Bowls Australia, where they had a series of events here for interstate representative teams. Held the round robin here a couple of times. It is a fantastic bowling club facility.
I think Moama as well. The Moama Bowling Club is the backbone of the Murray Steamers in the Bowls Premier League, which is the, I guess, the Trans-Tasman franchise-based competition, the premier competition of bowls in Australia, and Moama are a part of that, so it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility to think that they're going to host some BPL matches at some point here, and what a place to do it.
Oh, I think it ticks all the boxes for that, and there's also the added bonus here of Echuca Moama being the border town of Victoria and New South Wales. Huge tourism attractions here with the wharf and the paddle steamers on the Murray. Okay, what's happened here? We've got that Dennis McCarry bowl that was put down as his second lead bowl, and there hasn't been much close since.
So you'd fancy Shep Golf holding the one here?
Well, there's a little funnel there if he can find it, Jim Scullin. If he can come down there on that backhand. And he's only got to play like what I class as a trundle weight, just get there with 4 or 5 feet of weight and sit through a bowl, pick up the jack. He's got a number of bowls straight down the line, so he's got opportunities to score here as long as he provides himself a chance to reach. So you won't get anything if you bowl short, as we saw yesterday with a big turnaround shot yesterday, which really crushed a team at the end of a game. As I said, luck starts when you reach jack high. If you're not up to there, you're not a chance. So he's played this pretty intently. Oh, he's in the funnel. He's played a great shot, and he's got 2 out of that. Well played.
It's a really good shot there.
I think I might have seen a few of these shots in my lifetime, Guy. I think it was sitting out there. It was saying, "Hit me, crack into me. Something will happen."
And it has. It most certainly has. So from one down, what would you say, Bridgie, holding 2 there?
I'd say he's holding 2, and I don't think Dave Dawes is worried about this. The shot is still, you can still see the full jack. He plays the same shot as his opponent just played. He's a little bit high though. He's a bit wide. played a very, very, yeah, he played a purposeful weight there, but probably could have afforded to been a bit more direct. Worst position he could have been in was probably one down at the back. I find here that Mike Yacoub has called James to sort of be around the bowls. I like James's idea here to be inside, block that shot off, make it harder for David, because it's virtually left it on for him. So Johnny Gribble's got him. Yeah, he's got him directed there. There, much better weight. Much better weight, but a little bit too tight. Traralgon boys making a charge back now.
So
only one in it.
So picked up a couple there. So it's 4-3 to David Dawes. And 8-6 overall. In fact, that score, the overall score will be changing a bit there.
Being 11 at least.
Yeah, Shep Golf 11. They look like they've picked up
11 to 5. I'd say.
Yeah, 11 to 5. They've picked up one on Graeme Myers' rink at the very least. A couple actually. They've picked up there. So
stretch this end a little bit longer. Shane Chapman had a good end last end, going back towards the big barbecue area. Now going back towards the street, he's found a little bit of pace here.
11 to 8.
11 to 8.
That'll be 11 to 8.
See how Dennis McCarry adjusts to this length change. Probably rolled the jack an extra 3.5, 4 metres. Matt's still in the similar position to where it was before. Dennis McCarry's found the length. That'll do until something better comes along. Come on, Chappie's the call from his mates. Something to build on. Probably just a little too much room for Dennis. Very fluent in his delivery. Okay. Chris Ward just going to run through that little gate there. I think you're a bit short here, John. Just a correction on his grass here is all that's needed for Chris Ward, or should I say his carpet. If he can just take that couple of extra ounces of width. He's lobbed right onto this. That's a great shot, Chris Ward. Great shot. He's probably made 2 there.
So just an update around the rinks here. Brad Orr up 4-3 over Matt Ferrari. Graeme Myers of Shep Golf up 3-2 over Ian Kirkup. Here it's 4-3. David Dawes up over Jim Scullen.
Dave Dawes has cracked the whip here on Nev Manton. He's told him he wants a bowl close. This has got the weight correction. He responded well to his skipper and got a clap. Could be close for shot there. Oh, Michael Yacoub's got the shot if it falls back. No
Oh.
doubt if it falls over, it's the
there,
shot.
There it is.
So it's 1 and a potential measure for 2. There's plenty to sit on here, so Johnny Gribble's going to switch over onto his forehand, coming in this direction. Gets the bowl out there, he's got a chance. He's a little bit on the tight side, but he's got good weight.
Oh, wow.
He's backdoored the shot there. Someone left the screen door open and he came in.
Reckon that shot, Bridgie?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, looks like
it's
it.
very close. Michael Yacoub with a big chance here to make a big score.
Yeah, our angle not the best on this end, but I would say that he's got shot there.
He's just going to be a little bit high. Beautiful weight. Weight to trail that for 3 shots then. Yeah, fraction wide, I reckon. He doesn't want to be narrow. Back cut the jack here, he could be in trouble. He's just got to correct the bowl's width. I spoke about that shoebox earlier.
Yeah.
Just get into that width of that shoebox and you're a chance with your line. He's tight. Cruelled himself then just by being that bowl tight because he had perfect weight to draw a front toucher. Traralgon boys have actually grouped together better in these last couple of ends to give James a bit of an opportunity. They did the right thing on the first end. They put enormous pressure on David Dawes, but he responded with a cracker of a bowl. I feel the middle 2 players for Teralgan have contributed a bit more consistently over this last couple of ends to the Shep boys.
But again, every end so far in this has just featured. There's possibly one end they weren't quite on it, but everything else they've been around the jack.
Absolutely.
Like white on rice, haven't they?
He's got it, and a touch of the jack.
Oh.
Yep. Oh, I reckon he might have 2, but definitely got 1, I think. Second one, if he just got a little bit more of a feather on that jack out the side, he would have held 2 or 3.
Certainly a very high standard match so far.
Yeah, when skippers are converting like this and turning their heads over, it's good to watch. And that's what you've got to do, you know. That's see what the big man does. He's got it out on a good line. Just a little over. Yeah. Tell you what, guys, down well again here. Well, that's closer.
Oh, yeah.
That's a better shot too. It's laying flat. Jeez, Dave Dawes didn't think twice about getting onto this forehand again.
That won't be troubling the scorers.
It's 1 and a look now. It looks like 2, but you can't not favour the flat bowl. The flat bowl, you get the full belly of the bowl to measure. It's 2. Michael Yacoub looking for more.
Yeah, he's got the 2.
Got
Michael
the 2.
Yacoub signals a 2.
Well done.
And Jim Scullen's rink, they go to a 5-4 lead. They're down 4-zip. And they've had a very good couple of ends. They're up 5-4. 11-10 overall. Shep Golf still leading. Overall 11-10. And we'll keep you across what's happening on the other rinks as we go, Bridgie. We'll just go around the grounds to a couple of our other Section A matches. Buninyong leading Kerrang 10-8 after 9 ends. And in the other Section A match, Coringal off to a flyer against Altona, up 9-5, 10 ends in to that.
Beautiful. Great.
So certainly a couple of interesting results there. Two teams that have won trailing early in Section A. Section B, Queenscliff up 8-4 over Horsham City, 7 ends down there. Warrnambool 12-8 up over Benalla, just over our left shoulders after 9 ends. And Eagle Hawk 13-4 up over Lakes Entrance, 9 ends down. And that's the picture around the grounds at the moment here. 12-10, Shepparton Golf up over Traralgon.
The Teralgan boys have persevered in this televised game. They didn't do anything much wrong at the start. David Dawes was just on fire and stuck with it. Probably in that situation, you're always hoping the opposition skipper's not going to keep playing out of his socks, and that's the case. But Shane Chapman, great correction on his first.
Well, they've certainly cooled the hot hand, no doubt about that. And they're back in it, and they've had a couple of good ends. They were down 4-zip. They now lead 5-4. So the man they call Scully and his boys back in front. And again, just fantastic as you've seen, just to see blokes putting it on the jack the whole time in this game. It's going to be another cracking game if the first few ends are any guide.
This is where you want to control the game. You've got your lead close to the jack, second. Just a disappearing shot. Trying to just tuck that jack around the corner if you can to make it harder for the opposition. Second then is consolidating on the work of the lead, and if the lead hasn't got there, the second's got to draw the shot. Anybody tells you there's no science in bowls, they don't know anything about the game, because there is a science to the game. But it's all about each player taking the pressure off each player as they follow them. And you hear of these situations when teams get big, massive scores of 6s, 7s, and 8s, and what have you. But they can only do that if they get bowls close, and if the opposition has a wayward end. Chris Ward's all over that.
Yeah, ripper from him. But it is the ultimate team game, isn't it? And you're right. Yeah. It works differently to a lot of team sports, and it's about relieving the pressure on the person coming after you.
Nothing worse when you're playing Pennant and your team is struggling in the positions, and the players offer advice to the skip when they're changing over, and they'll say, "You'll be right, you'll do it, skip." Well, sometimes there's the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's the last thing the skipper wants to hear sometimes. But that's all about, the ownership, being the manager of the team. Because that's what you are effectively. There's a wrong bias there on one of the rinks that was trying to come into our game. Would have drawn the shot on our rink if they let it go.
Much mirth over there. I think it's in Matt Ferrari's rink. They just can't. They want to be on TV, I think.
I think the thing is here, there's been not so much a length change, but a change where the mat's been positioned to where the jack is. Players may be falling for the old trick of not adjusting that line as the mat's moved back, because a lot of bowls have cut the head on this end. At the moment, Teralgan are holding 5 shots on this rink. Johnny Gribble's got to get something in here for his skip. And he hasn't. 6 is the call from Jim Scullen. The 6 bowls that have been played by the 3 Teralgan players all count at this stage. And Dave Dawes is looking at it thinking, oh my God, what have I got to do here? But he does have a lot of room to cut down to at least 2 down.
and some form in this area, as we saw in the first end.
He just doesn't want to get. Frustrated. Just walk up the other end, relax, nice and loose, get on the mat, play the shot. It depends on what James Scullin does here. If Jim Scullin puts a bowl here, very, very close to the jack, Dawes will be under enormous pressure. What did I say before, Guy, about an 8? Are we going to see an 8 on live streaming?
Shepparton Golf will be hoping not on their watch, but this is in the conversation.
Yeah, it's in the count. That's 7.
Okay. So David Dawes goes back to the mat, and his team's staring at a very ugly number currently. And in the context of what's happening across the other rinks, there's not many big numbers around.
No, and if Strzelecki can hold some of these, there'll be a big change in the overall position.
Yeah, correct.
Which is only 2 the difference at the moment, 17-15. Oh, David Dawes. What's he done? He saved 6 of them because that second shot.
Well done.
That's a great shot. Okay, so he could just virtually go back and sit up on the seat up there and say, that's it, boys. Rest of my day doesn't matter. I've done my job.
Right in contention for our player of the day.
Oh, big shot that. Big shot that.
And he's had a couple.
And I think Jimmy Scullin knows this, because if he can get on the backhand and touch this jack a foot, he'll make 5 shots. First part's right, he's got it a little bit tight here. Okay, well, that's a real pressure reliever for the Shep Golf boys. Just now give himself every chance to draw the shot now. He can do it. If he does it, I think you should have these other 3 players running up the green to pat him on the back, because... if you don't mind.
Absolute ripper.
Well, there's your play of the day.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty hard to beat from David Dawes.
7 down to 1 down to 4 up, maybe 5 up.
Goodness me.
Wow. That was a gutsy shot, because he only had the 1 bowl close. If he'd flicked that bowl on the inside, on the outside, it would have shot through that gap. His bowl would have gone the other way. He would have been back to 7 down. But I think he's nearly 5 here. Or is it an umpire job? 4 shots. Well,
wow.
That's massive.
So David Dawes, just taking you back there, they were 7 down. He's turned it into 1 down with a fantastic shot. Turned it into 4 up with a gutsy shot. Amazing.
What we should do for live streaming, Guy, heart rate monitor on the skipper for the first bowl when he was 7 down. His heart would have been skipping a few beats, but when he played that one, then I reckon he would have had a massive adrenaline rush then.
Oh, that's a huge shot.
It was a great shot.
So David Dawes back in front. They're trailing 5-4. They're up 8-5.
Double your score in one end.
Correct, and 21-15 overall for Shep Golf. Picked up a big number when that could have been really, really ugly. Just a reminder that we have a Player of the Day award here from our friends at Anytime Fitness and My Sport Live, which the play of the day from Saturday's match will get a wonderful pack from Anytime Fitness, and I would suggest to you that David Dawes will work in that last end. He's going to put him very close to that pack.
We'll have to see something remarkable in the next 2 live stream games to top that, because that really was a remarkable effort to be 7 down with the first bowl that he had to get second shot. James Scullin didn't really apply any pressure. And David thought, well, I've got all the bowls on that side of the jack. They haven't covered the trail. Why don't I have a bit of a chance? Trusted his arm, trusted his skill. He got it right in the middle, trailed it better part of a metre, and made 4 with a close measure for 5. So great bowls.
And we hope you're enjoying this, because I'm sure our Victorian viewers will be well aware of what they're seeing in terms of Pennant bowls, but for those in other states or maybe watching elsewhere in the world, Pennant bowls, it is a team sport. It's very much a team sport, and this is what we play week to week in Victoria. This is your home and away season. It's very much a club-based, team-based sport in this state. The individual stuff tends to be around tournaments here, but the big deal is Pennant bowls. It's a team sport in this state.
It's not to say that the other states, they do have very prominent pennant competitions, but they don't run for the length that ours does in Victoria. Our pennant season traditionally starts around about September, late September, with mid-September with practice matches and what have you, and then it's full-on season for a number of home and away rounds, then a final series, and in the country you've got to win your division, then you've got to win your region to get to the main event. So a lot of time, a lot of selection worries. I think predominantly states like WA, South Australia, Victoria, Tassie have got fairly long pennant seasons, and as you go further up north, like New South Wales and into Queensland, their pennant season is not as long, but it's not to say that it's not as intense, because it is. And in New South Wales in particular, they're very focused on their pennant season, and they culminate all of their grades in state pennant competition up there. So from grade 1 right through to grade 7, they have a weekend put aside in their annual calendar where they play a state title for every grade. So, and that's hotly contested right through the whole lot, from grade 1 right down through to grade 7. So.
It's certainly amazing the subtleties in each state, and certainly for our overseas viewers. I imagine this would be a fairly new concept for them.
Well, fours has been around for a long time as a concept to play, as a format. It's when you look at fours, it's very much a game whereby each player has their individual part to play, but not every player is actively engaged for the entirety of the match. So the leader will put his or her 2 bowls down, take no real further part in the end other than sort of picking up the bowls for the second and the third and offering a few encouraging words. The second was going to keep score. The old saying was the second should get down on the green and kick a few bowls back as well when the ends are finished. But and the third is obviously the foreman to the skip, and the skip's the man in charge, man or woman in charge, and doesn't necessarily have to be the greatest bowler in the team, but has to be a good tactician, good manager of the people that they're leading in the team. And usually you find the people that have the most success are the people that get the best out of the players that they've got. Oh, here, Gribbs. That's a great shot, Johnny.
It's just going around the rinks here. Rink 7 in this particular match. Brad Orr of Shep Golf, 5 apiece. Matt Ferrari of Traralgon. And Graham Myers of Shep Golf up by a shot over Ian Kirkup of Traralgon. 8-7 in that one. Here it's 8-5. David Dawes over Jim Scullen.
Both these clubs play in what I would class as very, very strong regional competitions. Goulburn Valley, traditionally one of the strong areas for pennant bowls. You've got the Shep Park, Shep Golf, East Shep, Shep RSL, who now play out of the Shepparton Park Bowls Club. You've got Maroopna. A lot of really good, strong teams. A lot of great players coming out of that area over many, many years. And down in Teralgan, well, they're in the West Gippsland, and if you can mix it down in there, you're going pretty good, because they've got a great number of clubs down there. Your Moes, your Morwells, your Lawns.
So certainly 2 of our stronger regional comps. Shep Golf have 3 in a row. They've won 3 GVBD titles in a row. So they're absolutely legit club, but they will, I would imagine, be very happy to be here this year because they missed out in a playoff last year to Wangyu. I believe Wangyu put them out, who'd won Division 1 there.
Wangyu. Not many people would have heard of the little place of Wangyu, but that was well, they were unbackable, the Shep Golf last year in the grand final when Wangyu got up and won, and it caused absolute shockwaves right through that whole region. But I think it's great for the sport to see, you know, good little country club, Wangyu, very tight-knit bunch of blokes there. Probably never had a lot of success at that higher level, and they did it. So,
and they acquitted themselves reasonably well.
Yes.
At the revived Champion Estate Pennant last year.
Correct.
At Moama and the old complex at Moama. But I think Shep Golf would have probably done a bit of soul searching after that and said, there's no way we're going to miss it this time round.
No.
And have won their way through, and here they are.
Yeah, Teralgan probably about the most easterly club in the West Gippsland Bowls division, because then you're getting into the Gippsland Bowls region and North Gippsland. You've got your Sale, Lakes, Bairnsdale, into that area. But that West Gippsland division, quite a number of strong clubs down in that area.
Traralgon also have got big plans. They're the home of Bowls Victoria's men's region sides event for next year. They've got another year and an option for a third there, and plans hopefully to build an undercover venue that's still subject to their members voting yes, but on the cards they'll have an undercover venue.
Yes.
And that's at Grove Bowl.
There's a kill.
It's killed the end.
That's nullified the 2 shots that were being held there by Central Goulburn Murray region winners Shep Golf.
And we'll go again.
Just a little worrying sign there for the Traralgon boys that they didn't really group many close bowls on that end before James Scullin could get onto the rink and play that swinging shot and get that jack out of bounds.
Just a reminder from a rules perspective, dead ends can happen here. You can kill the end off, but there is, and we play 15 ends at each rink, so 45 in total across the 3. But we do time out at 2.5 hours, so if the match goes for longer than 2.5.
Yeah, it's a dead end, so it doesn't count and it doesn't score. So it's a replay of that.
Just completely replayed, yep.
Replay of that 7th end in this match.
But what it does do is, if you get enough of them, and sometimes you do see plenty of dead ends in Pennant matches, here we played a strict time limit. So 2.5 hours we time out at. If it gets to 2.5 hours and you hear the bell go, it means that you finish up on the end that you're playing.
A good example of that was probably 2 or 3 years ago when the region sides event was staged at Corowa. The bell rang, the match was timed out. One of the teams was taking its time actually in playing an end. The bell rang, they didn't get the last end played, and they lost the match by 1 shot with still 1 end left to play on the scorecard. Created a little bit of discussion, a little bit of anxiety, but they're the rules and that's how they'll be enforced. And it's quite clearly stated that if the bell is rung or the time limit is indicated that it's expired, you can't commence another end after that period of time. And if you have an end in play and the jack goes out of bounds, it's then spotted. So everybody knows the conditions before they start, and it's no use arguing about it after you've commenced. because I don't think the jury of appeal would hear anything in regard to somebody saying, "Oh, but we're sorry, we didn't remember about the time limit." Well, there is a 10-minute warning before the end of the match, so and it's the reason why the time limit is so that it gives us the opportunity to play the 3 games in one day, because it's a long day's bowls, and allowing 10 minutes per end to play. That's fairly comfortable. It's not rapid fire. It's not shotgun stuff. You still have the amount of time to play each bowl on its merit, do what you have to do.
On normal afternoons, Pennant, you can end up with more dead ends than a new housing estate.
Absolutely. Nothing to play a game of Saturday afternoon Pennant that starts at 1:30 and still be on the green at 7 o'clock. So 5.5 hours, and that's as a result of just killing the ends, or some instances a bit of slow play.
And there'd probably be certain situations with this that actually would make the skip think twice about killing the end too, just when that time limit gets a bit closer as well, and depending on where the match is positioned.
Absolutely, it could be a tactic, because you know that if you've got a lead and you kill the end and the bell's rung, nothing else is going to happen, so that's it, end of story. Dennis McCarry still bowled. That bowl he played is still there for shot. The call that Dave Dawes made then was perfect. He said, "You've got to play it because they will. So if you get in there first and take the shot away from them, you limit their chances to score." The old saying, if you don't get shot, get in the way. Makes it harder. Yeah. Perfect object there in skipping from Jim Scullen. He gave his player every direction. I want your bowl to finish here. Give yourself a chance to finish to here. The player then plays with confidence, because they know if they arrive, they've got a chance. Still a little bit underweighted, that one from Michael Newcube. Yeah. You never know what will happen if you reach jack high.
As we certainly saw yesterday in the Kerrang v Keringal match, where Dale Hancock got to jack high and changed things around with a rather fortuitous shot.
Yeah, he certainly pumped one up from a long way out to turn it onto another bowl to push it onto the jack, and sunk the hopes of Keringal with just that one well-weighted bowl, I'll say, Guy. That's the best description to say of it.
Doesn't happen if you're short, Bridget.
No, exactly right. No use crying over it if you don't reach the head. Two leads had a bit of a stranglehold on this for a little while, and now Dennis McCarry has got one close. Shane Chapman has gone a little bit walkabout here. Seconds haven't really consolidated on the head, and thirds have done little as well, so it's up to the skippers now. After his last end, this bloke could just about, I don't know, deliver it between his legs and get the shot, because that last end he played superbly to cut that head down and then play the big conversion shot where he made the huge result from 7 down to 4 up. That's 11 shots difference on the overall scoreboard. That's a whopping shot. Played what I would have classed a little bit of backhand magic, because it was a really good shot, top shot. There's a shot here if James is canny enough to get in that gap. I think 1 up is his best result here. I can't see him making a number. He's a little bit high. Oh, okay. Well, there's another way of doing it. A little bit of pin action there. If it was 10-pin bowls, you'd say the pins are moving around a bit. The bowl moved around a bit and turned that bowl out. I think he's one down.
He's like playing the old Kiss pinball machine there.
Yeah, yeah. The old belly.
Absolutely.
The belly machine. A little bit of weight here from David Dawes. Oh. Gee, that was a good try. He only missed that very narrowly. Michael Yacoub putting the crossed fingers on this to try and do a preliminary measure. Chris Ward down there offering his advice. Okay, he's taking a very deliberate approach here. Chris is the second. He's Michael Yacoub here is looking to get Jim to play onto that front teal coloured bowl as Shane Chapman from Teralgan. Play onto that to try and get that through Dennis McCarry's yellowy orangey coloured bowl there, and he could make 3 or 4, but it's a risky shot because half of a bowl one way or the other can determine a bit of a difference in the result if you're trying to plan it.
So it's certainly low percentage. Let's see.
It's a high percentage for shot numbers, but it's a high risk shot too because he's trying it. He's got it. What a shot! Wow. You can put that one down in your shot of the day column as well because that was perfectly executed for 4 shots. I would think this is 4. 4 shots.
Oh, well played. Huge, huge, huge shot from Jim Scullen.
As I said, Guy, it was high percentage, but a little bit of risk there, but he got it, executed it perfectly, and that's pumped him up.
It's pumped him up. It's pumped the lead up too.
I reckon Michael Yacoub's sitting back there. He's clapped his hands there and he said, I think I know what I was talking about there, Skip. And he had the skipper had the faith in him to play the shot. I like that. I'd like to see that.
Well, that has.
The way that Scullen played that shot, he played that with every confidence in the third's call. And he's borne the fruit of that because previous end, Dawes, turned that shot, that head around for a big 4 up. He's got him straight back, Scullen. That's correct. No, other way around. Yeah. Not much in this overall, Guy.
No, well, what that also has done too is given Traralgon the overall lead here. So not only is that 4 lifted Jim Scullen into pole position in the match that we're watching now, but overall Traralgon have taken 24-22 lead. Just bringing you up to date with the other rinks, it's 9 apiece, Myers and Kirkup. And Matt Ferrari's pinched a couple of shots there on Brad Orr, so they're up 8-5. So that lead will be now out to 26-22. So that'll be 26-22 to Traralgon overall because just a couple of shots picked up there by Ferrari on rink 7 over Orr.
I reckon David Dawes thought when he got that 4, there's a nice little breathing space, 8-5 up after 6. Jim Scullen there, he held shot, or we think he held shot, was a measure for it. But he took the chance, great shot there from Chris Ward. He took the chance and he made the big conversion shot. Got that closest Dennis McCarry bowl out for Shep Golf and turned that from 1 up, or possible 1 up, to 4 up. So lost 4, got 4 back. So they didn't hurt the overall situation, which is good. And I like the fact he wasn't content just to get one, tried to play a shot, put the pressure on. Let your opponents know you're still around, you're hanging around.
It was a good team conversion as well there, because you had the whole team involved. You had Chris Ward the second and Michael Yakub all involved, all played a part in
I wonder who started that conversation then. It looked to me like Chris Ward was having a fair bit to say, and I reckon that it might have got Michael Yakub thinking, and then the skip came down, had a look. I think I can play this, he said. Went back, bang, delivered. Thank you very much. Nev Wharton. Beautiful weighted bowl, but just dying in on those short ones.
You also sense that they're a bit up and about now, Traralgon. You sense that there's been a bit of a lift in spirits there. Everyone's played a role there in that last end.
It's infectious if it happens on one rink. You can guarantee usually it'll happen on the others as well. It brings everybody in. Team gets a huge momentum change, and that's what makes the difference in some of these matches. Johnny Gribble. He's tight. No, just overweighted. Nothing wrong with them finishing back there. Anything that finishes behind the jack's always going to serve a purpose at some stage of the game. Opens up your options. Wow, there's a blockade there. How do you get in there, says Dave Dawes. Probably says to Johnny Gribble, does it look as bad up your end as it does from my end? Undecided here. It's clear because he's come up and walked out the front of the head to have a look at it from John's perspective. Yeah, he's... Wow.
It's like a road train there.
His intent with this bowl. Has he got onto the edge of the bowl, or is he around it? They're still celebrating that last end up there. I thought Michael was going to kiss Jim then. Gave him a big high 10. Both hands for high 5.
You always know if it's double high 5, it's happy days, mate.
Yeah, it's happy days, yep.
Just while we've got a moment here, just to bring you up to date around the grounds, the other Section A matches, Kerrang up 23-21 over Buninyong after 21 ends. 22 ends into the match between Coringal and Altona. It's Coringal by 2, 19-17 over Altona.
That's got to look. No change there.
Here's Jim Scullin on the mat now. There's an absolute road train there. It is.
It's a mess, really, for anybody to try and get in there and draw another shot. So big weight here. High and wide, not very handsome, that one. No change.
So 1 to Traralgon there. So just confirm that. Definitely a 1 to Traralgon. I think it was Chris Ward's.
Bit of work for Shane Chapman here to correct on that first one. Good meter past Jack High. Out on the wide side. We said this yesterday, Guy, in our live telecast yesterday. It's all about the right line, right length, and they will turn. They will come home. That bowl there, great bowl from Shane Chapman.
It's a beauty, isn't it? We hope you're enjoying the coverage of 2018 Saturday Champion of State Pennant live from the Moama Bowling Club. Our featured match, Section A, Shepparton Golf, the Goulburn Valley Bowls Division champions versus Traralgon, champions of West Gippsland.
Saturday Pennant on a Saturday.
It seems weird with our Saturday Champion of State Pennant starting on a Friday and finishing on a Sunday, but here we are. This is actual Saturday Pennant. Just around the grounds, Bridgie, Section A matches. This is a Section A match. Kerrang holding a 2-shot lead over Buninyong after 21 ends, 23-21. Karingal surprise leaders over Altona, up 19-17, 22 ends into that.
Try here from Nev Manton.
And in Section B, Queenscliff off to a flyer against Horsham City. They're up 28-9. Halfway through that, just over the halfway stage, 23 ends down. Warrnambool, 24-16 up over Benalla, 19 ends down there. And it's 24 apiece, Eaglehawk and Lakes entrance after 24 ends in that Section B match. Just a reminder too that matches that we feature on our live coverage, you'll be able to catch them all. We'll rack them and stack them on our Bowls Victoria website for you. So if you miss one or you want to go back and maybe catch the Korang Coringal game that we featured yesterday, you go to the Bowls Victoria website and there they will be. So we're racking and stacking all the matches up as we go. We'll have 5 sectional matches that will be telecast, plus the final on Sunday, and you'll be able to catch them all. Even if you miss them live or you want to go back and see them again, you can see them all on the Bowls Victoria website, www.bowlsvic.org.au.
This afternoon we've got a couple of good games too, Guy. We've got Section B game this afternoon between Horsham City from the Wimmera Bowls region and Warrnambool from down on the windy west coast. A good game. That's the game straight after we have a luncheon break. And then the later game this afternoon, probably starting around about 3 o'clock, is Queenscliff and Benalla, and that I think will determine the winner of Section B.
That's looking a lot like it, isn't it? That is going to really be an important match in the context of Section B. Queenscliff single shot winners over Warrnambool in round 1. And they are going pretty well against Horsham City in their match. So they could conceivably be 2-0 by lunchtime. Benalla trailing currently to Warrnambool, but they're a strong side, Benalla. Former state player and Vic Open men's single semi-finalist Matthew Robertson leading that club.
Runner-up in the Victorian Open to Neil Crisp in the first Victorian Open, when Neil Crisp, the bionic man from down at Warrnambool in those days, now down playing out at Koroit down in that area, but Neil Crisp won that inaugural Victorian Open. Matty Robertson defeating Matty Robertson in the final, and that was a very, very high standard game, very high standard.
Robbo made the semi-finals of the 2017 event. Actually, quarterfinal, sorry, and I think Ben Harper put him out there in the quarters. But I think Robbo very keen to get on the TV rink. I think he's pretty keen to be in action here this afternoon.
Yes, you'll see one of the greats in action there.
He's a good player, Robbo. Absolute ripper player.
Man that plays his bowls under a lot of pain. He has a major back injury that actually requires surgery very shortly. And he carries a bowls lifter. He doesn't use a bowling arm, but he carries a bowls lifter so he doesn't have to bend down to pick up his bowl. Another left-hander. On this head here, Shep Golf holding, I think, 2. Not a lot of danger here for Dave Dawes to get in there and draw another. Playing smart. When you're holding shot, be wide. Beautiful weight. Just flopping over. So we're looking here for the Shane Chapman bowl there on its running surface to come down through the John Gripple bowl to try and disturb those bowls out of the head. This is a similar shot to what he played on the last end. Oh, he just got the feather of it. Played good weight. Johnny Gribble likes it for 2. He's just got to beat that white speckled bowl on the outside there to make another one. There's no percentage in it for him to try and move it for a number, but just to rest on it to draw another shot. So it's 2 shots. 2 shots to Shep Golf. Ties the game up. 10 all on 9 ends.
It does, and it gives Shep Golf overall a 28-27 lead. Just on the other rinks, to give you a picture there. Matt Ferrari up by a single shot over Brad Orr, 8-7. And Graeme Myers up 11-9. Graeme Myers from Shep Golf up 11-9 over Ian Kirkup of Traralgon. Here it's 10 apiece. David Dawes and Jim Scullen. Shep Golf, overall, they lead by 1 shot. Just painting a picture for you. Critical match for both teams here in the context of what's happening. Shep Golf lost to the Section A favourites Altona in their opening match yesterday. So victory for them is absolutely vital to keep them alive in Section A. You don't want to lose 2 matches. That's a beauty. Hell, have a look at that. What a ripper. Great first up shot from Dennis McCarry there. Opened the batting beautifully, McCarry. Look at that.
Done his job with his first. Dave Dawes has flicked him over here onto his backhand. Great bowl here would be to just sit the jack and dribble it around the corner. He'd play 2 rippers if he can do that. Good result here from Shane Chapman or Jippy, just to arrive on his own bowl and turn it over, or just around it to click onto the shot bowl and spit the jack out into the open a little bit. Very hard to try and draw off a resting side toucher. Oh, that's... Well, he's... Oh, little bit of a shimmy off the bowl there to put him in a much better position than what he thought. And open up another variation for the Teralgan boys to get into that shot.
The lead's having a bit of showtime here.
Yes. In this situation, the second and the third are nervous to get in there and touch that and make that not as good as what it looks at the moment. Smart bowls here are to try and get in the way. Oh, I just wonder whether this shot is... This is the harder shot. The definite shot there on that forehand to come down and sit that yellow bowl off the jack.
Oh, he's in the conversation here. Oh, goodness me.
Yeah,
Just
but
missed.
touching the outside of that bowl, it goes straight out to the Shep bowl. The smart shot there is to play down on the forehand. It's the better percentage shot for Teralgan to play that shot. They've got no position on that side of the head where the jack's going if the bowl is touched, so I'd be inclined to get down here. Nev Wharton's getting in the way. That's what I said. It's critical. Don't get shot, get in the way. Well. Taking his weight off here, Guy, has he? No. Oh, well, he's got a posie bowl out there now. It's probably a bowl late. That one had to finish there first. Well, yuck. That's made that shot harder on the forehand. But, yeah. Benefit of Chris Ward's bowl finishing where it did is now that Michael Yakub can play this shot with confidence, with the right weight, because they've got a receiver out there. Oh, he's given it a chance. What a shot. Great bowl.
Beauty.
Great bowl, Michael. Haven't got the shot, but that's made it a little bit more interesting. I think the Teralgan boys will go looking for that Shep Golf bowl if John Gribble doesn't get another one in. Here we go. 4 seconds. I think there's 4 Teralgan bowls closer than the nearest Shep golf bowl if that shot bowl goes out. So there's a chance here he might be able to make a handful. All about the right weight. See that little spot there between the grey bowl and the blue bowl coming in on the backhand side. If Michael Yacoub can sit that bowl through 2 feet, he'll make 5 shots. Here we go. He's let it go. He's just a little bit high. Probably played the right line, just a little too much weight to get it to bend on that line that was the draw line. Well, David Dawes really needs... He holds shot, but it's a vulnerable one. He needs another in there. He needs a partner for that one. And he should be playing the same shot. He's not. He's playing the forehand. Backing himself here to try and draw another shot around this front grey bowl to the white speckled bowl. But that is not a good result. This shot is begging now for James Scullin to come down and just sit on that yellow bowl, the one with the toucher mark on it. Dennis McCarry's first bowl, the one that set this head up. It's on its running edge, guys, so it only needs an arrival, 2 feet, and that bowl will shoot through 18, 20 inches. Give him a big count of 5.
How's he going here?
Looks a bit quick. Yeah, got to give it a chance to turn. Yeah, he's got to play that hand. He's got to take that shot away from James Scullin. Yep, he's listened to us, guys. Felt the telepathy. Got out there. I think he's played a great shot here. I think he's played a ripper.
Oh, yeah.
I know nothing about this game, guys. Nothing at all.
No, you've called it, Bridgie, and he's...
Well, he's changed the whole complexion of the head now, and he's lucky, really, because if James had have gotten that with his first bowl and pushed that shot out to hold 5, David would have been in a fair bit of trouble.
Yeah, instead, in a much better position now.
Like if he's only holding 1 here and he's got first and third, he's in a much better position than he was where he only held shot and nothing extra really close. So James got to look here, see if anything lines up, see if any of the bowls are touching one another and are directing themselves through any of the other bowls. You might be able to play a planting weight, get onto a bowl and shoot a bowl through another bowl to make a score. So Chris Ward in there again, so he's a bit of a master of the trick shot.
As we saw,
he sees all the angles. Yeah, he sees the angles, so it's important that is, yeah. And I think that they've all agreed that that's a line-up shot there. So let's see if he can execute. He did beautifully 2 ends ago, made a big score of 4. He knows that David Dawes has got no bullets left to fire on this end, so with the last bowl, this is either going to be a good result for Traralgon or a better result for Shep Golf. He's in the area, he's in the bullpen. Oh, he just didn't get enough of it. 1 shot to Shep.
Yep. So David Dawes and team pick up a shot, 11-10, 29-28 overall. Graeme Myers from Shep Golf up 11-9 over Ian Kirkup.
Nothing in that game.
No, and Matt Ferrari from Traralgon up by 2 over Brad Orr, 9-7.
So they even themselves out. They cancel one another out. One up 2, one down 2, and the match that we've got has Shep Golf up by 1. So that's the overall difference. So this is a tight match. It's good.
A very tight match. This one
very entertaining too, because we're seeing a lot of very, very well executed draw shots and some beautifully played weighted shots that they've put a bit of thought into. So
I think whichever way we're headed for a grandstand finish here.
I think so. I think we're going to have 2 from 2 matches that'll only be decided by a handful of shots. So that's what you expect and you anticipate, because these are teams that have won their region pennant. The hardest part's winning your local pennant, and then you go into the regional playoffs. In some of the regions, Guy, they'll have 4 divisions playing off for that title. Others, some of the regions don't have divisions, so they have a draw structured around a geographical setup.
I'm not entirely sure how Teralgan got here, but I know that Shep Golf had a 3-way situation with Baruga and Kilmore to win their way through to get here.
Well, Strzelecki is West Gippsland and South Gippsland. South Gippsland, very, very formidable opponents down in that area, and your Leongatha area, Phillip Island.
Just on the next rink over, absolute peach of a shot from Brad Orr there. It looks like they've picked up at least one.
Turned the bowl through the jack, which is all about the right weight. Nev Manton there getting in, so I would say there that Shep Golf, Dave Dawes rink holding 2.
There's another shot been picked up, so I think you'll find the overall score now will be 30-29 to Shep Golf.
Bit of steam on that one from Chris Ward. I think Dave Dawes has left the green for a nervous one, but he'll be back bigger and stronger.
A little lighter.
Yeah.
It's been a fantastic match. There's been some great bowls from all here. We've had the leads enjoying a bit of show time. Some good bowls from the seconds and thirds, and some great conversions from the skips. So we've had pretty much everything here. What we've also got is a very tense and tight match.
Just cut his line then, Nev. He had a beautiful weight with his second bowl too. By my watch, Guy, we've got 45 minutes in which to play these last 5 ends, so it's going to go down tight to the wire. We had that end that was killed, which was virtually nearly every bowl played on the end. So in effect, these guys are looking at playing 16 ends, with only 15 of those counting score-wise, but that one dead end, I think we may hear a bell ring when this is still in final ends of final phases of completion.
I think you find everyone's kept pace pretty well here too. I think the other two rinks are right amongst this. So this has almost got a simultaneous finish for pretty much all the rinks here. Just noticed too that Graeme Myers looks like he's picked up a couple of shots.
Yes.
On the previous end. So its overall score will be 32-28. So Shep Golf up by 4, we think, overall here. We'll just get some confirmation on that for you, but I think just with Graeme Myers picking up a couple there, 32-28, the overall score.
Michael Yacoub needed here, and he's done it. He's played a great shot there. One. Great bowl. Jim Scullin putting the finger up there. Not the bird.
Let's hope not.
The index finger went up for one. He was needed because Central Goldman Murray's Shep Golf held one there. Possible two.
Just confirmation there. It's 32-28 overall.
Here's a change.
Oh,
Johnny Gribble, what a bowl.
yeah, that's a ripper
He
bowl.
may have made that three. 2 or 3 down. He's just got to play the same bowl as his last here. Let's see if he's got a... No cobwebs in the memory. He likes it. He's following it. Oh, he's just under line and underweight. Yuck. He doesn't like it. Yeah, Johnny Gribble played a ripper there. He had a clear look at it from the other end. He could see what he was wanting to sit on. He did it perfectly. Sets up Big Dave Dawes now for a backhand counter. If he can draw another here, he's got 4. And this is not the time of the match to be doing multiple scores. That's in, I think. He could very well be holding 4 shots here. Definitely 3, I would say. Yeah. Michael Yacoub letting Jim Scullin know here he wants him into it. Nervous rub of the palm there with the bowls cloth. Dry the sweat off. Grip the bowl. Looks like a weighted shot coming on the forehand. Well, he got 3 of them out. That's a great shot.
It's a ripper.
He got the split on that and came through.
So what are we thinking there? One to Shep
One
Golf.
shot to Shep Golf. Dave Dawes just said, how did you get that? Well, David, simple. Seeing is believing. He got the edge of the front bowl, which went out clean. The momentum, forward momentum of the fast shot came through, sat through one and split onto another. So it was always there. So he's down here, coming in from a high angle. Rest off that and he's got the absolute.
Yep.
That's a great shot. Now, he doesn't hold the back bowl. So Jim Scullin will be looking here, I would say, to press that shot bowl through the jack and try and get it back.
Yeah, Dave Dawes giving him a bit of advice there too.
Just doesn't want to play too delicate and only move the jack 4 feet, because if he does, he'll be 5 down. So he needs this to be played with a fairly firm weight. He reaches the ditch with this and he touches the shot bowl onto the jack. At least the jack will move back. If it does go through that gap, it'll move back to where he has the backest bowl. Well, he cut the shot bowl off. I'd say it's 2. They didn't indicate.
So we're thinking 2 to Shep Golf there. That'll give Shep Golf a 13-10 lead.
Neville. 1 or 2? 1.
That's the 1. Just confirming it the old-fashioned way. It's a 1, so David Dawes up 12-10.
If in doubt, yell out. Under Shep.
Is it 12-10? 33-28 overall. So Shep Golf eking out a bit of a margin overall here. A couple of shots to the good, both on David Dawes' rink and on Graeme Myers' rink. Brad Orr trailing Matt Ferrari in his.
Once again, a great start from Dennis McCarry and a very good reply from Shane Chapman. Wanted another ounce on that to get that right in front of the jack. It's forced to switch over from Dennis McCarry onto his backhand. They need to build that wall a little bit higher over there, Guy. A little bit of a swift breeze through there.
Yeah.
Great bowl from Dennis McCarry there. He changed that head over. The thing I like about the undercover venues is you still get the elements. You've still got that breeze. I can imagine here in December, January, February and March, that's due north that way, down the length of the greens. A howling northerly coming through here on a Saturday afternoon when it's 40 degrees.
Yeah.
You won't get sunburnt, but you'll get the better part of the wind.
Yeah, you'll certainly be challenged. The beauty is the undercover keeps the rain out.
Yes.
And surface water is never your friend in bowls. And what that allows us to do is, even with a bit of wind howling around or the temperature being what it is, we can still get a game in. And what a game we've got here. Overall, it's the Golfers up by 5 over Traralgon. On the rink we're featuring here, David Dawes up 12-10 over Jim Scullen. Graeme Myers from Shep Golf up 13-9 over Ian Kirkup. And Brad Orr's picked up a couple in his match against Matt Ferrari, up 10-9. So the Golfers leading on all rinks.
Ominous signs here because Dennis McCarry has smothered the jack with his 2 lead bowls. Shep Golf are in the position here now with those 2 there where they can start to look at the position, get all the points of the compass covered so they can't drop a number, and the pressure back onto Teralgan to try and turn the head over. Yeah, he's a great shot here.
Our overall score there just reflecting the fact that it's 35-28, so a 7-shot lead, and that's reflective of the fact that Graeme Myers picked up a couple, as has Brad Orr. So 7-shot lead overall to Shep Golf. Dennis McCarry's 2 golden bowls sitting atop the jack.
And they're worth their weight in gold when they're like that, because Chris Ward hasn't changed the head over for Teralgan, although I'll give him credit, he's finished behind. Really needed to try and expose that pathway into the jack. There's a shot on the backhand, but oh God, it's a hard shot. Yeah, it's exactly right. He only needs a yard of weight, no more. Yeah. Couldn't get a better description then. Jim Scullen's told him with a yard of weight, you turn the shot bowl through the jack or you split the 2 gold bowls and you'll get a result. But you're not going to get it when you're playing that weight on that line. That's just the wrong weight and the wrong line. I think you might see a little bit of a breakaway here, Guy. I think the Shep Golf boys are grouping their bowls. And yeah, way too much weight, he's been told. So maybe a good shot here would be if Yeah, the call is it looks better. Looks better, the weight's better. Much better result. One down on the head now.
Fine correction.
Thanks, mate. In effect, he's done what his skipper asked him, and that's all you can do. To the best of your ability, whatever will be, will be. Dave Dawes up fairly quick through that delivery. Lovely weight. Cometh the hour, cometh the skip now for Jim Scullin. If he can pull one out of the bag here, keep the Traralgon boys in the game here, because it is getting down to the serious end of affairs. We've only got 14 ends left in this game, and the shot difference is 4. Oh, gosh. He needed full contact on that Michael Yakub bowl to push Dennis McCarry out, and he just got a feather on it. Turned his own bowl off. The bowl that was touching the golden bowl. And ran away. So the jack is on now. And he does have a trail shot down the line, so if he could get that jack 18 inches to 2 feet down the line, he could possibly hold 2 or 3. But David Dawes has got a bowl to come first before he can even contemplate playing it. And Big Dave's playing that shot, which is a good move. If he doesn't get the shot, he gets in the way. Although he might have created a little bit of a funnel there. You see that little guide there, Guy? You've got 3 bowls there. You sit on anything there, something's going to happen. If he's full on the yellow or goldy coloured bowl, he will make 2, possibly 3.
Yeah, it's like the runway lights guiding you home, isn't it?
It is. Definitely. And at this level, it's an expectation that that shot can be got. He's just got to go through it as a bit of a rehearsal on the mat, visualise it, look at the line, think of the weight, check the delivery, and execute. He's tight. It looked tight to me from the time it left his hand.
So it'll be Dennis McCarry's golden bowl. Picks up the one shot there, David Dawes. 13-10, up 36-28 overall. Shep Golf. Little bit of action happening on one of the other rinks there. Looks like Traralgon might be holding a couple on Ian Kirkup's rink. We'll bring him up to date with that at the moment. That's
1,
yeah.
Maybe. It's a measure, I think.
You're 1 and a measure there. We'll keep you across that. In this Section A match, it's the Golfers up by 8, 36-28. We'll take you around the other Section A matches. Buninyong holding a 45-33 lead over Kerrang after 40 ends of that. So looking on their way there, Buninyong. And the other Section A match, Altona have wrested back the lead in a very tense match against Coringal. The Metropolitan winners up 28-26. In that. And Section B, Queenscliff 18 shots to the good over Horsham City, 34 ends down, 38-20, they lead there. And Warrnambool up by 5 over Benalla, 31-26, 29 ends down. In that, Lakes Entrance put the pedal down a bit on Eagle Hawk. They're up 40-29 after 36 ends in the other Section B match there.
Big change of length in our televised game, Guy. This is a much shorter end. Jack up the green. Matt right back.
Means we get a good look at this this head too, because pretty much right in front of us here.
We're very much adjacent to this this length. Dennis McCarry not far off with the length. I think he's been the consistent player on the rink. His shot, his bowl has featured his shot on a number of ends. He's a very, very steady player, Dennis. Very steady.
Dennis certainly a well-known name, not only to those in the Goulburn Valley, but those who may follow Victorian bowls. He's a regularly deep finisher in major events, including the Stella Vic Open held in Shepparton, the marquee event for Victorian bowls each year.
This won't be far away, Neville Wharton. What a great bowl, mate. Well played. Teralgan need a lift from Chris Ward.
Just confirming, Graeme Myers actually ended up picking up a couple on his rink, but it looks like Matt Ferrari has picked up a couple in his match against Brad Orr, so the margins tightened some.
Chris Ward's holding the shot for Traralgon. I think the Matt Ferrari rink guy got a multiple, got 3, I think.
Yeah, picked up a few there. They're leading 14-10 over Brad Orr. We've got Myers up 16-11 over Kirkup on theirs, so they were, looked like the Traralgon boys were holding one, possibly a measure, but clearly that's changed around a bit on there.
Chris Ward's jumped over onto his forehand. Yuck. Back cut the jack into Dennis McCarry's bowl, which was behind. I think he might find it is 2 down now, so he was holding shot.
Proof again of what you say, Bridgie, that Dennis McCarry's second shot went behind the jack there, and you're always a chance when you.
The thing is,
when you're not short.
When you're holding shot, not always a good idea to be just that little bit under the line and narrow, because that was a classic case there of being under the line, back edging the jack and not having any position to receive it. So better to be that little bit on the higher side, touch your bowl in or finish around it. Undid all his good work with his first bowl. Michael Yakub. Just a little full head of steam there on that bowl. He finished a good 8-9 feet behind. Yeah. David Dawes thinking a shot ahead here. Getting Johnny Gribble to put a covering bowl in to finish behind the head on the backhand side. So he's been acknowledged as being, it's nowhere near the jack, but it's a great bowl position-wise, because if Teralgan come down on that forehand and try and play the jack through, now Shep Golf have a bowl out on that side. "28th of April, Guy, and I'm sitting here in shirt sleeves at Moama. After kicking the dew off the greens this morning. It was a fairly cool night, but it's a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. Under cover, nice breeze coming down the greens. Spectators in the grandstand with the sun at their backs.
People will tell you the Gold Coast is a good place. How about the Murray? Perfect weather.
More sunlight on the Murray than there is on the Gold Coast.
I wouldn't doubt that, Bridgie. Would not doubt it for a minute.
What a great shot.
Oh, Michael Yakub.
As I said, David Dawes thought one shot ahead there. Michael Yakub got that bowl through the jack, and have a guess what? Straight out to where Johnny Gribble had it placed.
There you go. Great shot, Michael Yakupi, and the skip laughing it up there. Why wouldn't they? Nice shot.
Very much like snooker bowls. You know, a snooker player, when he makes a break and he's constructing a big break, he's always thinking a shot ahead. Sometimes in bowls it pays you to have that ability to be able to think that one shot ahead, plan what your opponent's trying to do, and then counter punch and have the bowl out there. So instead of having to draw to save, he's drawing to add now, David Dawes. So he's got 2 now. Still enough room for Jim Scullin to get in there. That last Dawes bowl is at least 50 centimetres short of the jack, so he's got the better part of 50 centimetres all the way around the jack. He can finish behind here and still draw the shot. He's got to hurry. He's got to hurry. He's there. Just threw a little bit too much. Still think he's 2 down. 1 for sure. Sometimes it's a good idea, Guy, if the third places his foot on a spot on the green where he thinks it'll be the shot and says to the skipper, draw to my foot. Gives the skipper some sort of a guide and a judgment call on the weight that he needs. That wouldn't look good from the end that Dawes has just delivered from, seeing that bowl there, because it looks like it's in the draw. So don't know whether that's a counter. They're calling to see if the last bowl of David Dawes has come inside the confines of the rink. So the umpires will come out and investigate whether this bowl is either any portion of it is inside the rink.
Bob Carlson, our official there.
They got the best man on the job, one of the Commonwealth Games technical officials, so it's in, so he's called it. Very quick with that line-asider to make that decision. There's a little mirror on that frame, and you cast a line right down the green to the rink peg on the opposite end of the green, and he can sight the line of that straight through that to tell you whether there's any part of that bowl touching the line or over the line. So very effective, very quick, didn't take much time at all. And Jim Scullin now, pressure on him to draw the shot. He's gone out in that same territory that Dave Dawes went out in. One down.
So yeah, just the one there to Shep Golf.
One down.
So one down. So one down. Traralgon. Shep Golf pick up the shots. 14-10. Dawes leads 40-35 overall. 5-shot lead. And in reality, it's this rink which appears to be the one that's going to have the say, because Graeme Myers up by a few over Ian Kirkup and Matt Ferrari up by a few over Brad Orr. So they cancel each other out, and this
Graeme Myers' holding shot on his rink with the last bowl of the end to come down, so he could be holding 2 here when this bowl's finished.
I'll just keep an eye on that.
Which he is. Give him that much room, he'll draw another. 2 shots.
Great shot on the adjoining rink from Myers.
That's
So they'll pick up 2 there.
These last 5 ends that Shep Golf have played in this match guide that we're televising, this has been pure bowls. You know, a double there that got them back to 10 all on the 9th end, and then a 1, a 1, a 1, and a 1. You know, that's good bowls with some good shots played as well. You know, big numbers down a couple of times there. Jim Scullen, he got back to 1 shot down. Really needs his lead to jump on here, Shane Chapman, to give Traralgon any chance to curtail this lead that the golf boys have got.
So just confirming, Graeme Myers has picked up a couple on that ring. It hasn't been reflected on the scoreboard yet, but we can tell you Shep Golf up by 7, 42-35. They'll be leading.
He just hones in like radar. Well weighted, well grassed, well carpeted in this instance. Comes Chappie. Don't think he's got the weight. No. Still looks reasonably open there. There's no blocked line to the jack. Nev Wharton here on his backhand. Turn a bowl in, Neville, or turn a bowl over. Brilliant.
Oh, well played.
Brilliant. Blocks the line off to the jack.
Nice work, Nev Manton there.
Yeah.
Yet again, it is the golden bowl of Dennis McCarry.
This is where
sitting in pole position,
and this is where Teralgan have got to be careful. Chris Ward didn't change the head over coming in this direction last time because he played overweight. Now he's under line and overweight, so he really has to think pretty hard about this next shot because this could be a make or break end in regard to the overall result. At the moment, it's only at 5 on our screen. We think it's 6 overall. At 5, that's confirmed on the screen. So measure for the length going on the rink next door. Someone's challenging whether it's the required distance, 21 metres.
It's a big shot, Chris Ward here.
I don't like it. Don't like it. He's underneath again. His weight was better then, but just... Yeah, there's no real need for any of the Shep Golf players to go near those 2 shots, or that 1 shot in particular, and make that target any bigger. Putting the pressure right on Michael Yacoub here. He's had to come to the mat on numerous occasions in these last 5 ends, faced with trying to play something that's, difficult to say the least. He's pushed Shane Chapman's bowl up. Well, I think you'll see a little bit more intent on this one on the forehand from Michael Yacoub. It's a beautiful funnel down there for him to come through and sit that shot bowl through. He's got second shot, so he can afford to reach. He's tight.
He's not liking it.
No, he just did not really go out to the line that he should have been on. It was disappointing for him.
He's bowled very well throughout this though.
Oh, he's played some big shots.
Yeah, and he certainly had to do a bit of chasing, but Not one of his better efforts there, but
usually when you see the hand come across the chalk line, that's where the bowl will go. And it's his hand finished then virtually coming across the chalk line, so he was always going to drag that across his body.
some great insight for our viewers from Graeme Bridge there. The man has played more than 200 games for Victoria, so he knows what he's talking about. We hope you're enjoying the insight wherever you're watching from.
That's a great bowl from David Dawes.
Yeah.
That's that's it. If you don't get the shot or get another shot, get in a position where you can receive the jack or cut down the potential for your opponents to score multiple.
And there is a very large jack boot on the throat of Traralgon right now on this end.
Yes, they could deliver the final blows here on this 14th end of this televised match. And we've got Brad Orr on his 14th end as well. Well, there's a result. There's a result.
Shot.
So,
not for the first time. Jimmy Scullen.
Where there's life, there's hope.
Yeah, just bring you up to date with what's happening on the other rinks. We can tell you overall, it's 43-35 to Shep Golf currently. That's confirmed. Here, 14-10 Dawes over Scullen. So 43-35 overall.
Up to Dawes. He's got to be careful though, because there is another bowl to come. He's close, guy.
He's right in here.
He's close.
Oh, yeah.
He's played he's played a good bad bowl. He's drawn the shot, but he's vulnerable because he's sticking out of that head there. This is where James Scullen has to go back down, focus over what the lie of the head is, and determine that he's got to beat that last bowl, because that's the shot.
Okay, here it's 14-10, Dawes over Scullen. Matt Ferrari, Traralgon up 14-12. Brad Orr, Graham Myers, Shep Golf up 17-11 over Ian Kirkup. It's 43-35 overall. Big shot to come here.
He's close. Oh, he's just turned it behind the jack. So 1 to Shep Golf.
So they just keep picking up the ones. David Dawes, 15-10 up. That will be 44-35 overall.
You get one every end, guy, you win 15-0.
Right now, it's Shep Golf just keep picking up the one. It's death by 1,000 cuts at the moment, Traralgon.
Yes, I think they're in a situation now where they try and limit the damage.
So we can tell you they're finished over on the Myers Kirkup rink at the moment. And a win to Graham Myers there. We'll get you a final score from that very shortly.
This could get out to at least 10 shots now, so. Brad Orr picked a couple up to be only 2 behind. We know this game here that the Traralgon boys are 5 behind.
Yep, 15-10 to David Dawes.
But they're just about to put the score up for the Kirkup Myers game. And I think that Graham Myers got a couple there on that end too, so.
Just a reminder here, it's 15-10. David Dawes up over Scullen. And the Myers-Kirkup game, Myers running out a winner, 18-12 over Kirkup.
I'll make it 45-36. So.
If our sums are right, Bridgie, that would be right. 45-36. Overall, Dawes up 15-10.
Dennis McCarry, strange as it may seem, on the front of the jack again. Great bowl, Nev Wharton there. He's sat the closest Teralgan bowl out. Chris Ward here on his backhand. We need a bowl from him. He's got it. Chris Ward's just put that front toucher down, and we've got word of the 10-minute warning, so
So seem to be having some issues with our scoreboard, but just to let you know, David Dawes up 15-10 here, 45-36 overall to Shep Golf.
Chris Ward down again on the backhand. This will pull this bowl. Has he got the jack? No, he's got the shot, so he's made two
well
good
played.
shots. That's a good bowls from Chris Ward. His last end. He's come to the party. Matt Ferrari here with a good bowl, Guy. Going in. Oh, not rolling over. Oh, how about that for a shot? Johnny Gribble got the whole lot there. And one down. So he took out the two Chris Ward counters. Took Dennis McCarry's bowl as well. Nev Wharton's bowl stayed for shot.
It's been a fantastic match to watch. We hope you're enjoying this wherever you are watching from.
Michael Yakub. He's all over the jack. Great shot, Michael. Great shot.
Yeah. That'll now be shot. So we're having some issues with our scoreboard. So just to clarify, 15-10 to Dawes. 45-36 Shep Golf lead. Couple more ends to play. So Shep Golf in the driver's seat here.
Johnny Gribble coming off the weighted shot. Hardest thing to do, come back off a weighted shot to the dead draw shot, and he's dropped that a good metre short. Giving Michael Yakub every chance here now to draw another. He's got a little bit on this one. Just a little over. Dave Dawes goes to the mat down again, Guy, but he seemed to have an answer for most things in this match. He's only had a quiet period there where between N3 and N5 where the Traralgon boys got back into the game, but he's been thereabouts knocking on the door every end since, and I think he's been instrumental in the fact that they've been able to string the last 6 ends together. So with shots like this, if this is as well weighted as what it looks, he's all over it. Just missed the jack. 2 seconds in there. He's not going to do a number this end. It's smart bowls at this stage. 9 shots in front. You can't afford to drop your guard. A 4 or a 5 dropped on an end on 2 rinks is the difference between the lead staying or the lead disappearing. And Jim Scullen here, he's really only got a draw shot on to try and draw a second shot with this one to accompany Chris Ward's bowl, and then try and draw another with his last if Dave Dawes fails. a bit quick.
It's just a reminder of where we stayed. Doors up 15-10. Some issues with our scoreboard. We apologise for that. 45-36. Shepparton Golf leading. There
Tell
we
you
go.
what,
We
Guy,
think we've got that fixed here.
he's not far away.
He's in the game. Oh,
He's got the shot. Gribble put his finger up there to indicate that it's one to the big man from Shep Golf. He's been a Goliath in this game.
just
The amount of times he saved them, but also the amount of times that he's been able to add a shot as well. He's had a pretty good, I would say, bordering on a very good game for a skip.
Just to clarify, Matt Ferrari's picked up a shot on the previous end there on the opposite rink, so just confirming the overall score, 45-37 to Shep Golf, and we've got our board going again, so the scores you're seeing are the correct scores. Notwithstanding what happens in the two ends we've got going on here.
Okay, so this is this is a situation that you don't want to be faced with. We've all been in it. Everybody that's watching that's played Pennant that's skipped has been in a situation where you're trying to retrieve a game for your team, for your club. He's down one and he's trying to find a number to give Matt Ferrari something to chase with his last end in play. He's got to try and get that Chris Ward bowl, that white speckled bowl, put through the jack, but he's got to get the edge of the jack to go back 4 feet. Yeah. On any day of the week, not a hard shot.
Oh,
Well, he took the shot out. Has Chris Ward's bowl stayed there? It did move forward slightly. One shot.
okay, so one more.
Johnny Gribble won't give it up.
No. Out comes the tape. But we're done in this one.
That's why you measure, because that's the shot. I think the Shep Golf have got the shot, I think. I think they might have tried a number on him there. Con him out of a shot. If in doubt, get the tape out.
So, yeah, one to Shep Golf there, I think. So we're done here. So that will be a 16-10 win to Dawes over Scullen. $46-37 overall in the scheme of things. The other match still going on here, or v Ferrari, but I don't think that's going to change things up. So we will have a win to Shepparton Golf overall here.
You can't get 10 with 8 bowls, and you can't get 9 to tie it with 8 bowls. So
Yeah. Just checking the ends here. I think this might be.
it's the last.
This is definitely the last end. Okay, we'll just checking that because we did have a dead end in the previous one.
This will take them right up to the 2.5 hours by the time this end's finished.
Yep. So we'll stick with this. And Vinnie McElwain putting one down for Traralgon there.
Sliding through. Guy, the interesting thing about our televised match was that Shep Golf were 10-8 behind at the 8th end, and they won every end from the 8th end right through to the 15th end,
Yep,
and
that's
scored 8 shots on those 7 ends, a 2 and then 6 ones. So it was a tight game. It was a tight heads to play to. But I think in the overall scheme of things, I think the side that was the most consistent came out on top. I think that was set up very, very well by Dennis McCarry in the lead position. Nev Wharton in those last half a dozen ends certainly put some extra pressure on, in particular onto Teralgan's Chris Ward. John Gribble, well, John was always thereabouts. He was hanging around, refusing to sort of give the Traralgon guys any sort of a sniff of a chance of getting into it. And I think the big difference in the game was the superb display of skipping by David Dawes. I thought that was exceptional. And look, not to be disgraced, the Teralgan boys were right in the game, and I think the conversions probably didn't go their way on a couple of ends, and they found themselves going down with all their guns blazing, 16 to 10. So I don't think the Teralgan boys could be too upset with that effort. In particular, the fact that you can't control how the opposition skipper plays. If they have a blinder, they have a blinder, and you just got to get on with it.
So just to confirm here, we've just changed the scoreboard around a little bit here, and that's just to reflect the match that's going on between Matt Ferrari, who's the Traralgon skip, and Brad Orr from Shep Golf. And that's currently Ferrari by 3. Final end, Vinnie McElwain's put a couple of nice bowls down there for Traralgon. But it won't be enough, and we will have a win. So
our next game, Guy, gets underway 12:15. Should be a very good game between Horsham City and Warrnambool in Section B. It's our first Section B match to cover. And then straight after that one's finished at around about 2:55, 3 o'clock, we'll have Queenscliff going head-to-head with Benalla. And I think that'll be a ripping game for yourself, myself and Zane to be sort of the three amigos to be able to put our spin on the game. But I think here, after their less than auspicious start yesterday, Shep Golf have come back to the field with a very hard-fought win.
They have indeed. So Traralgon and Shep Golf both 1-1, and Altona were leading over Coringal in their match on one of the outside greens. So best way to keep abreast of what's happening, we'll bring you up to date with all the scores at the start of our next match. You can also catch those as they finish. They'll be updated, the results, on www.bowlsvic.org.au.
Matt Ferrari holding shot there on that head, and he just tried to get in there to protect that shot bowl. But I'd say, like in most circumstances where you're playing on an outside rink of a green, coming off this which would be the ditch side, it doesn't have a ditch down the side, but on this side of the green, that bowl just picked up big momentum and turned itself inside out. So Brad Orr here looking for the shot bowl.
He's put the afterburners on, he's after it.
He got it, but I don't know whether he turned it out far enough. I think he turned that bowl through his own bowl and through another bowl, and I think the Teralgan bowler still stayed for shot. The shot here for Matt Ferrari is to try and sit that purple bowl that's right behind on the centre line. That would be their closest, I would say. If he can get onto that, he'll make a couple. Not disgraced here against a very quality opponent in Brad Orr. Matt Ferrari.
Matt's been playing good bowls too. He was in the Strzelecki team and men's region sides, playing on his home greens there at Traralgon a couple of weeks back. Played good bowls.
Contrasting weather conditions from a fortnight ago, Guy.
Yes, we don't need an arc nor flippers nor blankets for that one, or for this one here.
Oh yes, that's a shot. He's put his own bowl in, turned it in. Now the two words storm and tempest come to memory. And a man with a long beard building a wooden boat out the back by the name of Noah. I think we were looking at that sometime on Saturday afternoon, but we got through it. Perseverance pays.
So here Shep Golf will run out winners. Brad Orr putting down the last bowl of the match.
There you go.
Oh.
Thank your mother for the rabbits.
Oh, Brad Orr. State player.
Did he make one or two? Two. He made two.
He's made two. So Brad Orr is. They might have finished 15 apiece, that one now.
Yep.
So there it is. So Shep Golf will run out winners here. 48 to 36 overall, we believe. And Shep Golf run out winners. And a fantastic televised match. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage, Bowls Victoria, of our second televised match, Section A win. Shep Golf defeating Traralgon there. We'll be back a little later on, just after midday, with our first of our Section B matches. Guy Hand and Graham Bridge signing off. We'll catch you again very soon.